Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, gonna do the what's next on Caleb Plant, the now former IBF super middleweight champion of the world, following his tough 11th round knockout loss to Canelo Alvarez as he attempted to become the undisputed super middleweight champion and just came up short, and no shame in losing to the pound for pound king. The one thing I give Caleb Plant is there were competitive rounds. There was a good amount of competitive rounds to where, one judge had it 6-4, the other two, one had it 7-2 and the other one, had it 7-3 and the other one had it 8-2 at the time of the knockout. So, I personally was more in the 7-3, 8-2 camp, but, there were some competitive rounds. And the thing is Caleb Plant he doesn't have the power to keep Canelo from coming forward. Eventually Canelo's going to get to you. And unless you're completely running your ass off, you're going to get hit. And Canelo kept coming. He kept landing good, hard shots because Caleb Plant does not have the power to push Canelo back. That was the biggest thing. So, Plant, he was in over his head in terms of experience. And, that showed and he lost. But you know what? Again, he fought hard. He fought and did the best that he could. And no shame in that. And for me, he's still a top 5 super middleweight at the time because this division really is not great, because it needs a turnover. It's one of those divisions now. It's been cleaned up and it needs a turnover. But there is still some good talent. Canelo, in all honesty, he's going to be giving up those belts at some point, or at least a couple of them. And Caleb Plant, we're going to have to see what he wants to do next. So let's run through the top 10 real quick. Personally, I think it's a strong possibility that Caleb Plant comes back against and shakes off some rust in the first half of next year, and that's what he does. He doesn't really take on a top 10 guy, but you never know. So let's see. Let's see if there's a top 10 possibility in there for sometime next year. We start with, obviously a rematch with Canelo Alvarez is out, but what about David Benavidez? They're both with the same promotion, with PBC, and it's a makeable fight. Now this is a fight that people wanted to see when they were both undefeated champions. They're not anymore. Would Plant open the door for this fight? I think he would. I just don't think he would do it next. But I think if there was a vacant title on the line, or if Benavidez wanted to go out there and show that he could do better than Canelo against Plant, and Plant was open to it, then I think it'd be possible. But I don't think Plant wants to give Benavidez that kind of crack next, so I'm not seeing it. But it's possible for 2022, maybe. But again, less likely. Number 2 is, I said Benavidez. Number 3 is Daniel Jacobs. Now, these guys have talked shit back and forth in the past. It's just not a fight I see happening next. And to be honest, I don't know if it's a fight that happens at all in 2022. So I'm going to say no to that one. I just don't think these two guys are on the same page, and it's a fight that can be made, even though I'd like to see it, and they have talked shit about each other in the past, but I doubt it happens. Then we got Billy Joe Saunders sitting there at number 4. I'd like to see the fight. They're both coming off Canelo knockout losses, but I really think they're just going to go in different directions or with different promoters, so I'm not seeing it. Plant's number 5. Number 6 is Gabriel Rosado. Another one with a different promotion. I wouldn't be shocked if they could make a fight like this, but Rosado's coming off a loss, so is Plant. I'm not sure that's the right fight for either guy, so I'm going to lean towards the no, but I'm not saying it's not completely impossible either. Anthony Durrell sitting there at number 7, the former 2-time champion. Both with the same promotion, it's an easily makeable fight, but is it the right matchup for Anthony Durrell, who's coming off of a win on the undercard of Canelo and Plant? And to be honest, I don't see it. I don't think it's a fight that... I think it's a fight Plant might want, but I don't think it's a fight that Durrell would want, so I'm going to say no. I think it's a bad matchup for him. Kyron Davis. You know what? I wouldn't completely rule this out. If Plant's trying to come back and take on a guy that he'd be a favorite over and has worked at the PBC and has fought 2 good former champions in Durrell and Benavidez, and Davis showed a lot of heart against Benavidez. He fought to a draw with Durrell, showed a shitload of heart against Benavidez, was landing good shots in that fight. I think Davis would be down to fight him. So I think this fight actually is possible. Number 9 is John Ryder. Again, working with Matchroom and different promotions. I don't see it for his next fight. And then sitting at number 10 is Jesse Hart. Again, working with a different promotion. I don't see that one happening. But, you know, Lionel Thompson, another guy that's outside the top 10 with the PBC, that could be possible. But I really think most likely for the top 10 for Caleb Plant coming off that loss would be a fight with Kyron Davis. I think it is possible that Plant maybe does what Callum Smith did and moves up to 175. But I really think he's a solid super middleweight. And this division's about to be blowing up. And Caleb Plant might be one of the guys good enough to make a dent again and step up in the division. It's really up to him. But coming off of a loss, you really just don't know. That's the big question. But I didn't want to just group him in with Canelo after that loss and everything. I wanted to give Caleb Plant a little bit more respect than that. You know, I respect what he did in the ring, that he took the challenge. He made a shitload of money, and he went in there and he actually tried his ass off to win this fight. He just was fighting a pound-for-pound king, and he got knocked out. So there's no shame in losing that one. So that's it. That's the what's next on former IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Caleb Plant, following his knockout loss to pound-for-pound king Canelo Alvarez. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.